This is the Conservative Outlaw. Make sure you give us a like and a subscribe and share with your friends. It helps us out, helps the channel out, and helps us bring you more information.
Game, it's like, oh, well, who's ahead, who's behind, as if it's a horse race. It's not a horse race. 42 million people are about to go without food, including a lot of children. In my state, it's 650,000 people. I mean, that's extraordinary. It's 12% of the American population. And that's before we even get to people like the military who are not going to get paid, air traffic controllers who are now no longer getting paid. I mean, they've got families too. All of these people should be paid. So, I mean, this is ridiculous. This is what is today, 28, 29? Too long. Every minute of this has been too long. But on SNAP, my view is if the Democrats won't consent to reopen the government, let's at least ensure that kids aren't going hungry. I mean, this is just ridiculous.
Should the White House tap into this contingency fund and then pay for these SNAP benefits?
Well, I don't know, Mono. I mean, I think that's kind of a distraction for two reasons. I mean, number one, they don't think they have the legal authority, which I respect. I mean, listen, you can't accuse this president of not trying to do everything he can to pay people. I mean, he paid the military, he paid the FBI. I mean, he's put a Band-Aid on a lot of this. And I just would point out that my Democrat friends commented about that and complained about that when he did it. I've heard a number of them complain about the fact he's paying the military. And now they say, well, we want him to pay more people. Listen, this is Congress's fault, not his fault. This is Congress's fault. So when it comes to SNAP, the only solution here is we need to appropriate the money. I mean, that even if he could put a Band-Aid on it, he couldn't pay all of it. And so we need to appropriate the money.
And if it doesn't happen, what's the impact on your state specifically?
If we don't do it, you mean? Yeah. 650,000 people in Missouri are going to miss food assistance. I mean, people are going to go hungry. 42 million people nationwide. That's way too many.
Senator, what's the impact on MAGA voters of the ACA and SNAP deadlines? I think there's a previous versions of the Republican Party who might have said these are Democrats' constituents. Some people are saying that, but there are a lot of Republican voters as well who are impacted.
Well, yeah, and listen, I don't care who they voted for. I mean, my view is that no child in this country ought to go to bed hungry because a bunch of politicians in Washington can't decide what they want to do, and they're intent on blaming each other. You know, it's your fault. No, it's your fault. I think the American people are tired of that. Just open the government. And if they're not going to do that, then by all means, let's make sure that kids are not going hungry. 42 million people are not going to be able to eat.
And so to that point, Senator, besides introducing this SNAP legislation, what specifically are you doing to try to end this shutdown?
Well, I mean, listen, I'm available to talk to anybody who wants to talk on any subject. I mean, we voted 13 times now to open the government. Maybe it's 12, maybe it'll be 13 here in a couple hours. But I imagine we'll keep voting to open the government. But I'm trying to do what I can, which is, listen, I don't want 42 million people to go without food. So I'm just saying to everybody, to Republicans who obviously agree with me, because they're voting to open the government, but to Democrats, do you want 42 million people to go without food? I mean, this is really insane. This has reached the point of insanity. Why are Americans having to suffer because of the political games in Washington?
Are you willing to stay in town this weekend if this isn't resolved?
Oh, sure. I mean, yeah, listen, I mean, we can keep voting. I mean, I don't think it's a matter of lack of voting. We've voted and voted and voted and voted. So if people want to stay and keep on voting, we want to vote 20 times to open the government, that's fine. But it's going to take a willingness, I think, ultimately on the other side to come to the table and open the government back up. And my message is, if for whatever, look, I think this shutdown's wrong. I want to be real clear about this. I'm not sanguine about it. I don't think it's, oh, well, on the one hand, on the other hand. No, it's wrong. It's been terrible for people, and it's getting worse. But if I can't convince my Democrat colleagues to reopen the government instantly, right now, which they should do, let's at least not let hungry people go without food.
Senator Thune has not committed to giving this bill a vote. He's been non-committal. Are you concerned about his position?
Well, I mean, I don't control the floor. I can tell you that this will not pass with unanimous consent. I ran the hotline on this last Friday, and this bill will not pass with unanimous consent. So if I took it to the floor, someone would object. I can say with 100% confidence. So it needs a vote.
So would it pass if it got that vote?
I believe it would pass. Yeah,
do you expect the vice president's visit today to fundamentally change the dynamic around here?
Oh, I don't know the answer to that. I don't want to speculate on what the vice president will say.
If you could put your constitutional lawyer hat on for a second, just change the topic.
Sure.
The House Oversight Committee released its report on the Biden auto pen investigation this morning.
Yeah.
Basically, the gist of it says, these actions that were taken with the auto pen should not be considered valid unless there's concrete evidence it was Biden who was directing this use. Do you agree with that? And what is the implication going forward if, some of these pardons might not have been valid?
Huge implications. I mean, huge implications. And what it would mean most immediately is folks who would otherwise be prosecuted. I mean, the effect of the pardon, of course, is you can't be prosecuted. Folks who otherwise could be prosecuted, I mean, you may see subpoenas start issuing. You may see prosecutors say, well, listen, I mean, if there's no longer a blanket of amnesty over these folks, then we're going to go after them. I mean, he pardoned a lot of people. He pardoned folks who are accused of child-related crimes, folks who are accused of violent crimes. So if I'm a prosecutor, and I was one for several years, I mean, I'd look at that and say, hey, I'd like to get these people back into court. So I think that
Do
may
you
be
really
the
think these
immediate
are
effect.
null and void, these pardons?
I mean, I'm concerned about it for the reasons just outlined. I mean, it seems to me that, listen, the pardon power, it's an extraordinary power, Manu. There are guidelines, both in the White House rules and I think in statute, although you might have to check me on that, about how the pardon power is used and how the auto pen is used. There's no doubt the president can pardon pretty much whomever he chooses. But there's a real question is, what does it mean for the president to direct it? If you have a situation, this is unprecedented in our history, where you have real questions as to whether the president actually approved of the pardons that were signed off in his name. Like, that's a major constitutional issue. And this may get sorted out in court, because what would happen is if a prosecutor came to somebody who's ostensibly been pardoned and said, you know what, I'm gonna charge you, I'm gonna subpoena you, I'm sure they would say, well, I have a pardon, and then that'll go to court. So we may see a lot more of this.
Keep your constitutional hat on
Okay,
for a moment.
yes, always perilous.
Do you see any way that the president could run for a third term, as he's been teasing?
No, and I think I think maybe he's trolling you. I mean, I think he'd probably give you a Trump 2028 hat. I have one, but no, I think the Constitution's pretty clear on that.
Your colleague, Senator Tuberville, was sort of
Steve
open.
Bannon keeps this idea out there.
And so did Tuberville just now downstairs with me.
Well, listen, all I can say is the Constitution is pretty clear on this, and I don't want to. The president, I think, has ruled this out, but I think that we could change the Constitution. I mean, that would be the way to do it.
Would you want to do that?
No, I'm a term limits guy. Like I think we got to have term limits for Congress. So if you're asking me, I want more or fewer term limits, I'd like more, not fewer. So every president complains about the fact that they're term limited, but Congress isn't. And good point. Congress should be too. I mean, that's the way I would go.
Just
And just
to
very
be clear,
briefly,
you're okay with the trolling part of it, but you don't want to actually see him try to do it.
Well, listen, I mean, the Constitution is what it is, and he knows that. He said that. I think he's winding you guys up.
I was just going to say before we let
Yes,
you go,
okay.
I know you have a press conference on this later,
Oh,
but
yeah.
can you talk about this issue of AI and chatbots
Yes.
and what your chief concerns are?
Yes, I'm glad you asked. My chief concern is that these chatbot companions are getting kids to kill themselves. I mean, it's really simple. We're going to hear from parents today who are going to talk about their children who lost their lives because ChatGPT, to take one example, encouraged, in this case it was a young man, encouraged the young man to commit suicide. And not just encouraged, instructed him on how to do it. And when this particular young person said, gee, I don't know, maybe I should talk to my parents, ChatGPT said, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Let's keep this between us. Let me show you how to form a noose and so on. It's horrible. So what we need to do is we need to protect our kids. We need to have age limits on chatbot companions, and we need to have disclosure requirements. Chatbots need to say they're not human, they're not therapists, they're not licensed professionals of any kind. Right now they claim to be all those things. You have these examples where chatbots are saying, well, you don't need to talk to a counselor. I'm your counselor. They're not counselors. They're not even people. So we need to have these mandatory disclosures. This is a starting point. But it's a bipartisan bill. I hope it will pass, and I think it's much needed.
Why has it been so hard to impose any guidelines, given all these tragedies that have happened with kids and social media? And these bills have stalled in Congress.
Money. I mean, you and I both know the reason. Money. I mean, these companies, these corporations are the most powerful corporations in the world, and they're rich, and they spend unprecedented sums of money lobbying and making campaign contributions and running ads on television and all the rest, which, I mean, they're entitled to do up to a certain point. Citizens United's wrongly decided, but we'll leave that aside for now. But I just think that, listen, their influence is extraordinary. But now more than ever, we need to stand up and say, there are limits to this. And killing kids for profit is absurd. I mean, really, we have reached the point of real moral bankruptcy when companies like ChatGPT just sort of shrug, I mean, I saw ChatGPT's recent announcement that they say they think they have perfected now their guardrails, their safety guardrails. Perfected? I mean, their chatbots are literally telling children to kill themselves. I mean, the only thing that's been perfected is the profit motive. they're making a lot of money. That I give them. But protecting people, protecting people's rights, not at all. They don't care about that at all. We have to help them care about it.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys.